Hi, folks. So, yeah, the warnings for all of this were in the Old Testament, weren't they? For where we are now, and for a church that was pretty determined to not do things according to God. Come on. We have the Old Testament as a warning to us of the nature of humans, the nature of man and woman. Yeah, that they're going to go their own way. Israel are a prime example of that, aren't they? They had God. They had victory over their enemies. They'd march around the wall and praising God, and they got victory from that because God told them to do that. They did what God told them to do, and boom, victory. Why, hey! They were fleeing Pharaoh and his soldiers, and God took them to the waters and said, "Don't you worry about it. I'm going to part the waters so you can get through. Then when they try to chase you, I'm going to make the waters go as they were before, to drown these people, to stop them." Right? That's what they had. Now, the first thing from that is to understand that God is now, He will be that for you. If you are looking to Him rather than everything else of the world, if you are looking to Him, then He will be that for you. Right? That's one thing that you can take from it. The other thing you can take from it is just how incredibly easy it always has been for the devil to turn God's people away from Him. How easy it's always been. God has had to send prophets. Yeah. To bring the people back to Him, and yet it never lasted. It was never going to last because of the nature of people. And one of the things that the church should have done, well, if you're talking about a church doing things according to God, they should have set up some sort of, even something like the apostles, a 12. Yeah, from churches all over the world. Pick 12, and those 12 people are going to be keeping an eye on the church and making sure that it doesn't go in a direction that Israel went. Away from God, away from God, away from God, away from God. That would have been a useful thing to have done, but they didn't do it. Of course not. Of course not. And here we are. Well, I say the reality is it's going to be, I think in the future, it's going to be very, very much a personal relationship with God. More than church now. Because it has to be, because it always should have been personal relationship with God. It always should have been that. But too many people had their relationship with church. Yeah. But then again, it was designed for that. The devil, yeah. As soon as the church went to the world for all of the things it went to the world for, every time it went to the world, it was letting the devil in a bit more and a bit more and a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. Until they gave the whole church to the devil and he just did what he wanted with it. But again, bit by bit. Bit by bit. So, yeah, what the devil doesn't do, he doesn't take a perfectly good, healthy church and turn it the next day into an absolutely demonic, worldly thing. It's over time. It's over time so that people don't notice. So those who should be keeping an eye aren't seeing it. It's like us. If we're walking, if this is the path that we're supposed to be on, then we'll be getting tiny nudges every now and again. And if we keep walking straight, if we don't realise we're off the right path, we never get back on it. And that's the same with the church. If you're continually, falsely patting each other on the back as if you're doing a fantastic job when you're not, you're never going to realise that you're no longer on the path. And that's where things like accountability is an absolute must. Not accountability for the purpose of judging others, but for the purpose of keeping yourself on the right path. As I said, the reality is, in hell, for those people that were of church, hell is going to be so much worse. They're going to be constantly reminded by their own minds of how close they were to going to heaven. Those of the world that have never gone to a church, they've chosen that path. They always knew that that was where they're going to go. But those who believe they're going to go to heaven, but were deceived, partly by the pastors and teachers, but also partly by their own decision as to how they wanted their life to be. As I say, most people in church have a very, very shallow relationship with each other and with God. But they chose that. They chose it. But that's where proper teaching and proper accountability and doing things according to the will of God and the ways of God are going to help people to understand these things and help people to understand, no, it is deeper and you have to go deeper. If you don't go deeper, then okay, whatever. But my understanding was, I could be very wrong on this, is that the Bible says there are three heavens. There's the one that we can see, then there's hell, and there's the heaven where God is above. So therefore, what just came to me, and again, this may be true, maybe not, maybe it's something, maybe it's not. Okay? If you're not willing to go deep, then you won't go higher. So therefore, going deep means you have to go, in a way, lower, because you're going deeper, aren't you? So you're going lower. If you won't go lower, you won't go higher. So going to the heaven where God is, that's the third heaven. Well, you won't reach that. You'll reach the second, but you won't reach the third. So, But as I say to a lot of people, well, again, what's going to be the thing? I think we've got to help people to receive peace. If we help people to receive peace, then we can help people to go deeper, because with peace they can go deeper. But if they're stressed by life, it's far harder. So, that's one of the first things I think that will need to be done. Anyway, there you go. I will leave you to it. Be a blessing and be blessed and have a fantastic week ahead. And go deeper with God for your personal relationship. Bye-bye.